Please, let's take our seats. Asanteni sana. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Hamjambo. No one among us here can doubt that the MSME sector is the lifeline of our economy. While the formal sector has remained relatively stable over the past 3 decades, providing employment to about 3 million Kenyans, I think now about 3.5, the informal sector has grown in leaps and bounds, now providing livelihoods to more than 17 million Kenyans, including my friend there, Kevin. And the sector today contributes about 40% of our GDP. As government, we recognize the immense potential of MSMEs to generate jobs, provide livelihoods, and sustain our citizens. That is why MSMEs are one of the 5 core pillars of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. It is for this reason that we established the State Department of MSME Development for the first time in our republic. It coordinates efforts and anchors a robust MSME ecosystem to promote growth and development. And I'm very proud of my appointment of Susan Mangeni to be the first PS. She comes with the requisite passion and commitment to this sector. Every other morning I find a message on my phone on what is going on in that sector. And I am forced to read. Sometimes I reply, sometimes I let pass. In our plan, we committed to end the criminalization of work by making trading licenses and the provision of trading spaces an entitlement to every citizen who applies. Today, this commitment has been mainstreamed, with county governments working to harmonize licenses and moving towards a single permit regime. It is not perfect, but it is work in progress. Apart from making sure that we decriminalize the space around doing business, especially for micro and small enterprises, we've made it also easier for those who want to register their businesses. It used to be a long process. Today, from the comfort of your phone, you can register your business with just 1,000 shillings. And going forward, we're going to make it even easier for those of you who want to register limited liability companies. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also building modern markets through our affordable housing program, fully equipped with cold storage facilities across Kenya, with ICT hubs, and with facilities for trading for micro and small enterprises. Our goal is to construct at least 2 markets in every constituency, providing not only decent trading spaces, but also facilities to reduce wastage, especially of perishable goods. Already, 280 markets are ongoing, some completed, some nearing completion, and I want to commend the State Department for Housing for undertaking this exercise. And of course, the Board of Housing for supporting it. For MSMEs in the manufacturing sector, we are partnering with the county governments to establish county aggregation and industrial parks in every county. These parks will offer shared manufacturing facilities for value addition. By August this year, 13 KICCs, or county aggregation and industrial parks, will be completed and ready for operationalization. Why are we doing county aggregation and industrial parks? I just listened to a presentation by one businesswoman who said she operates out of Karioko. And she does business with Karioko because in Karioko they have common user facilities to deal with matters leather. Karioko is very far from Bungoma or Kwale or the rest of the places. So what are we doing? To be able to enhance infrastructure available for manufacturers in the MSME sector, and recognizing that micro and small enterprises may not have the money to buy equipment on their own. It becomes necessary for us to build county aggregation industrial parks, equip them with the equipment the MSMEs require, and work with them so that they can use those facilities, common user facilities, to build their businesses and to expand their trade. And therefore, I'm asking those of you who are in this sector to begin to appropriate the space around county aggregation and industrial parks. Those are your spaces. You will use those spaces, you will use the equipment in there. We are going to equip those facilities, but you're going to be the end users and you will be the end managers of those facilities. We are also committed to reviewing our policy and regulatory framework to make it easier to start and run business in Kenya. Today, we have reviewed our MSME policies to support business growth nationally. And I want to thank GIZ for the support they've given us in that space so that we can have what PS is saying, a master plan of the entire space around micro, small, and medium enterprises. The revised MSME policy integrates government priorities, including the value chain approach and cluster development. It now also includes medium enterprises to support the growth of transition from micro to small and medium enterprises, a gap that existed in the 2020 MSME policy. The government's digitization agenda has enabled the onboarding of over 20,000 government services onto the e-citizen platform, creating a true one-stop shop. This has significantly reduced business registration costs, as I said, to 1,000 shillings. This process can be initiated and completed from the comfort of your home, while the integration of e-procurement has made it even easier to do business with government. As I did commit to the country that we are going to transition to e-procurement. All government tenders will now be available to all people who want to participate online from 1st of next month. And every other process in that ecosystem, including who gets evaluated, who eventually wins the tender, for how much, is going to be available on the e-platform so that we avoid government paying for products and services more than what costs in the market. We committed to unlock access to affordable credit at those at the bottom of the economic pyramid through the Hustler Fund and in partnership with the private sector, banks and telecom companies. We have given opportunities to affordable credit to 26 million Kenyans. To date, the Hustler Fund has disbursed 71 billion and mobilized nearly 5 billion in savings. And why is this important? I know Waziri Oparanya has said we need to repay our loans. But also, apart from repaying our loans, we have given 26 million Kenyans to have a credit history. Even if you don't pay, at least we have a history that you don't pay. It is still good enough, for the next person, that this person normally pays, this other one does not pay. So we have at least brought a credit history to everybody. Of the 26 million people, they now have a credit history, which is a good thing. And the positive thing about a credit history is that you can improve it. You may have not a very good credit history today, but you have an opportunity to repair it. Tomorrow you can repair it, and progressively, when you see the need to repair it, you will then discover that it is good to have good behavior in borrowing and lending and repaying. And because now we have, count yourself lucky that you may have run away with 100 or 200 or 500 shillings, but you have an opportunity further down the road, to use that borrowing history to improve on your credit rating. There are those who have not paid. Their benefit is they have a credit history. There are those who are paying. About 7 million of them were now working with the banks. And I was very happy to listen to my good friend from Equity Bank, that they're now working at splitting those who are paying, about 7 million of them, into two. And now they are assessing how we can transition these people into formal banking. They can be considered now in the formal banking space, something that was not available to banks in the past. Today, the banks can look at the borrowers in the Hustler Fund and begin to, work with them towards graduating them, training them, and making them bankable. There are about 2 million who wake up every day, borrow from the Hustler Fund, and pay. There are those who now have been graduated into the bridge loan. There are people today on the Hustler Fund who borrow 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, up to 150,000 without any collateral. Their collateral is just their good manners of paying and repaying, credit history. And we are slowly changing collateral. And that was the intention of Hustler Fund. We are slowly changing collateral from having a title deed or a logbook to having a credit history upon which you can borrow and you can be lent money. So the choice is yours. You can make whatever choice you want, but now you have an opportunity to choose. At least you have options, right? You have an option to have just a credit history, which is good. You also have an option of borrowing and paying in small amounts. You have an option of graduating yourself to the next level, and you have an option of doing business around that space. The reason why I came up with the Hustler Fund was because I found 7 million Kenyans on credit rating bureaus. We had 7 million Kenyans on CRBs. I don't know whether you remember that. And they could not transact anywhere. They could not transact in any platform because they had been flagged. If you want to go to the bank, they say this man is a bad person. If you want to go anywhere, they say this lady is not good. So we removed 7 million Kenyans from the credit rating bureaus, transitioned them to a new platform where you are not condemned, but you are given a chance to either be a good person or remain around there, but nobody is condemning you. Today, we don't have people who are denied services because they are condemned by credit rating bureaus, except for those who decided to go back. As I said, the innovative 9-band Hustler behavioral credit rating system, crystallized from Hustler Fund experience, is enabling good borrowers to graduate to higher loan limits based on their credit ratings, marking a shift from conventional collateral-based lending, where you needed to have a logbook or a title or something else to be able to be given money. Now, just by having a good credit rating, you can actually access resources. Even as we take stock of these achievements today, we acknowledge that much more remains to be done to unlock the full potential of the MSME sector in creating secure and sustainable jobs for the many young people entering our job market every year. Through initiatives such as the National Youth Opportunities Towards Advancement Nyota program, which supports youth entrepreneurship with capacity building and seed capital, the Kenya Jobs Economic Transformation Program, normally known as KICC, which aims to boost enterprise competitiveness and productivity to generate quality and sustainable jobs for our youth, The government is fully committed to supporting private sector growth. Ladies and gentlemen, even as we celebrate our MSMEs today, we must confront a painful reality. And I want to express my deepest regret for the loss of lives, looting and wanton destruction, and loss of valuable property belonging to our traders who were deliberately targeted by criminal elements during the protests this week. Besides the regrettable loss of lives, the biggest victims of this chaos were our hard-working traders and entrepreneurs who wake up early every day to find some of their businesses and hustles reduced to ashes, and others with broken doors and empty walls or empty stalls. Let me say this. The right to peaceful protest is protected by our Constitution. We respect and uphold that right. But what we witnessed was not peaceful protest. It was calculated chaos. It was violence. It was destruction. And it was economic sabotage. Let's call it what it is. That is what it was. Shops were looted. Businesses, some built over decades, were burnt to the ground. Market stalls destroyed. Warehouses ransacked. Investments worth billions of shillings wiped out in hours. The livelihoods of hard-working Kenyans have been shattered by deliberate acts of lawlessness. It is anarchy dressed in freedom colors. This is disorder disguised as democracy. Is this the Kenya we really want? I dare ask. Do we want to build or do we want to destroy? Do we uphold the law only to exploit its protection, to sow chaos and cripple our economy? Is this what freedom really means? Is it freedom to ban what others have built? Those elements doing this are not fighting for freedom. They are attacking freedom. I expect the Inspector General of Police and all relevant security agencies to conduct immediate, thorough, and speedy investigations. The perpetrators of this violence, looting, and destruction must be identified and prosecuted for the fullest extent of the law, swiftly and decisively. Kenya is a country governed by the rule of law, and the government will not allow such acts to destroy lives and livelihoods. To the political actors who think they can exploit the genuine aspirations of our young people to foment chaos, violence, and destruction, the wheels of justice will find you and deal with you firmly, decisively, within the full letter of the law. For those who want power, the Constitution is clear. Elections will come. Formulate a better plan. Convince the people of Kenya. Win fairly. That is how change happens in a democracy. Replacing a working plan that you may not like with no plan or with hate and violence will only make things worse, not better. And let me say this for the avoidance of any doubt. I know many families are hurting because they have lost loved ones. I know many families are hurting because they have lost life savings and done so without reason. For the MSME sector, the sector that I speak to here, which contributes 85% of our jobs, we have 17 million Kenyans working in this site, in this space. We have done what we think is a plan that helps move our country to the next level. I deliberately set up the State Department for MSME. It wasn't there. And I deliberately set it up because I believe this sector holds a big potential for our country. We have aligned policy. We have decriminalized the MSME sector. We are formalizing the MSME sector. We are saying registration of the MSME sector must be made simple. It must be easy for somebody to register their business. We are working with the counties, as I said, to make it easier to have a single permit so that MSMEs can make it easier for them to be able to do business formally recognized. I have said we went out of our way to get many people who were condemned in the CRBs to exit them with a hustler fund, and we're giving them credit at 8%. They were paying 300% per year. We brought it down from 300% per year to 8% per year. We have 26 million Kenyans in that space today, enjoying credit history, enjoying credit, and transitioning them further. In fact, we are now working with the World Bank and other partners to see how in that hustler fund ecosystem, we are working on identifying at least 100,000 micro enterprises so that we can give each and every one of those 100,000 micro enterprises 50,000 grant to be able to scale up their businesses. That good man there is working on it. Okay? As part of graduating businesses from a smaller threshold to the next threshold. As I have said, we are building 400 markets nationally. Again, to provide opportunities for micro enterprises, small enterprises who do business in our markets to operate in a decent place with proper trading flows, with access to hygienic facilities, making sure that we have cold rooms, making sure that we have ICT hubs, making sure that even women who have young mothers can have a place to go and attend to their children in the market space. We are, as I said, working on common user facilities, county aggregation and industrial parks, recognizing that not every small trader has the money to buy the equipment for them to manufacture the things they want to manufacture. That is why we are consolidating, aggregating in a county aggregation and industrial park so that we can equip those parks with the necessary equipment so that our micro and small, medium enterprises can carry out their manufacturing in these facilities as they are doing in Karioko here, and be able to improve their products, be able to improve their markets, and be able to access even better markets. We are working on how to create bigger markets, access to markets. You saw the PS here for trade has said the East African Community Market, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Market. We just concluded the European market, working on the Economic Partnership Agreement between Kenya and 26 European countries. We concluded it last year. It came into force in June last year. We now have access to 420 million people market in Europe. We have concluded agreements with UAE. We now have a signed agreement with the UAE market. Last couple of weeks, we also agreed with the 1.4 billion people market of China. I was in China 2 months ago. I had an engagement with President Xi, and he gave me undertaking that they are going to consider Kenya, alongside other African countries, for tariff-free access to their market. Now, a few weeks ago, that was finally concluded at the FOCAC meeting, where I had sent Minister Musalia Mudavadi, and now Africa is preparing itself, and Kenya is at the front on how we are going to access that market with our products, with our tea, with our coffee, with our macadamia, with our avocados, and all the other things that we are producing here. And we do not want to send our tea or coffee to China in sacks. We want to send it in packets where we are making sure that we have added value, we have processed, and we are getting more value. In the finance bill that I signed yesterday, we have removed all taxes on packaging material for tea, coffee, and all the other export products because we want to domesticate manufacturing in Kenya. We don't want to take our products in raw form to any part of the world. This is the plan. This is the implementation we have. What I'm asking is that, because I have tried to listen to the people organizing the demonstrations, and they have said three things. They have said they love Kenya, but they hate the leaders. And they have talked something about one term. And they have said Ruto must go. Those are the things I have listened to, you know? And therefore, I want to ask them this, because if you truly love Kenya, as you say, don't ban your country. If you are telling us you truly love this nation, don't be part of the problem. Figure out how we are going to get solutions. If you hate the leaders, I want to tell you, hate brings conflict. Conflict brings violence. Violence is not a solution to unemployment, is not a solution to any of the challenges that Kenya is facing. So, if your strategy is anchored on hate for other people, for leaders, how are you going to provide a solution for our nation? If your protest and demonstration is anchored on hate for others, we must be honest, we must be candid with ourselves as a nation, because what is going on in these streets, people think it is fashionable. Because there, take selfies, post on social media. I want to tell you, if we continue that way, they will finish with the small enterprises in downtown. They will move. They will be in Kileleshwa. They will be in Lavington. They will be in Karen. They will be everywhere. And we shortly will not have a country. I don't know whether that is the direction we want to go. And if it's a question of terms, the Constitution already has sorted out and settled the issue of terms. Terms are limited. You can either be one term, you can be two term. Maximum. You cannot have more than that. So what is this craze about terms? The Constitution already provides for those terms. So please, let us look for the solutions of our challenges. And solutions cannot be found in terms. Solutions are found in strategy and a plan. And if it is Ruto must go, tell me how you want me to go. What? You know, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. What do you mean? What do you mean by Ruto must go? how do I go? Because we have a constitution in place, dear people, right? Yes. If you want Ruto to go, please, my simple advice to you, look for a better plan. Convince the people of Kenya that you have a better plan. This one of mine has created 250,000 jobs in the housing sector. Look for one that creates 500,000. This one of mine, I have brought down the cost of unga from 240 to 160. Look for one that brings it to 50. Violence will not. Anarchy will not. It will not sort out our country. Let us not fool ourselves. So, let's be honest to one another. I have listened to what these people are saying. So, if you want Ruto to go, please, do the honorable thing, you know. Develop a better plan than the one I have. Yes. The one that creates more jobs than the one I have. The one that brings down the cost of living than the one I have. The one that creates more opportunities for the young people of Kenya than the one that exists, you know. Do not tell us that you hate so-and-so. This one must go. That one must have this term or the other. And you have no strategy. I have said, you cannot replace a plan that is working that you don't like with no plan. The only thing you have, you are armed with hate and violence. And then you want us to agree with you? Really? Please. There are very few fools in Kenya. Persuade us. If you persuade us, you know, I can also go and concentrate on farming and help in food security, you know. If you have a better plan, but don't ban the country for heaven's sake. We don't have another country. And I want to ask the leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, who are encouraging this movement towards violence and chaos and anarchy. What is your plan? So, you're telling these young people to burn the place. You're telling them to cause violence. So that, what happens? So that we move to where? You know? So these are questions that we need to ask ourselves as Kenyans, you know? Because if we go this route, we will not have a country. Yes. And the country does not belong to William Ruto. The country belongs to all of us. And if there is no country for William Ruto, there is no country for you. You know? So, no, so let's really be honest with ourselves and let's be candid. What is it that we are trying to achieve? Yeah? So, finally, good people, to the MSME sector, your resilience in our nation is our nation's strength. Your success is our collective prosperity. Kenya will not be held hostage by violence. We will protect our economy, defend our democracy, and secure the livelihoods of all Kenyans. It is the responsibility that is on my shoulders now, and I want to assure this nation I will do the best that I can to protect everybody and to protect everybody's business, because it is the responsibility that I have at the moment. Until that responsibility is exercised by somebody else, I will do it. You know, so let's just be clear that we cannot continue in this manner. We have to find another way of doing business. We cannot continue this way. It is not possible. We cannot continue to have people like Kevin. You know, we had many people with jobs on 24th. On 25th, their jobs went up in flames. We had many people with businesses on 24th. Today, they are living in squalor. They don't know what to do next. You know, and there are people who are telling us, oh, you know, 25th was very successful. Really? It was successful? With people having died? With so many people hurt? With so many businesses destroyed? With many businesses up in flames? Was it successful? We are going to answer those questions as we go forward. So, good people, let me say I am very happy that I came to participate in this international celebration of MSMEs, because if there was a place for us to participate, it is in this space, because it carries 80% of our working people in the Republic of Kenya. We will continue to work with you. We will continue to build the structures to support this space, and God willing, we're going to make it better. Asanteni sana, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for that wonderful and reflective speech. Your Excellency, if I may request that we remain on stage. Let's take our seats, please. Allow me to invite the CS, the PS, Susan. Let's also have the two gentlemen who will be representing the hustlers. We also are going to witness the launch of the strategic plan, the MSME Development Strategic Plan. Results, we to your right. So if we can kindly have the buzzer brought to stage. If we can have the buzzer brought. As we now launch the MSME Development Strategic Plan for the year. You can see. And at the count of 3, we shall then press the buzzer, and the strategic plan is to the right. So, Your Excellency, you're welcome to just go. Let's flank him as he's there in 3, 2, 1. And let's press the buzzer, and there you go. Perhaps to get a clearer view of it, I don't know if the curtains, they don't open this way, so we may come and just see it from the bottom of the stage. It's right in there. Your Excellency, you're welcome to just come and stand from here and see it. Perhaps to get a clearer view of it, I don't know if the curtains, they don't open this way, so we may come and just see it from the bottom of the stage. It's right in there. Your Excellency, you're welcome to just come and stand from here and see it as we come to the end